Five, four, three, two, one, boom. Hey, everybody, it's Rail Andrews here with Modern Day Champions. This is a show that I started where I just take ordinary people just like you and me that had a dream. They not only had a dream, they took action. They drew that line, made a decision, took action, figured it out, made it a reality, and now they're giving back. I'm really, really excited. I have an amazing guest today. And what's really cool, when I started this show, I started interviewing certain people, and those people brought me to other people. And I interviewed Jordan Adler the other day. It was an amazing interview. You're going to see that one coming up. And he introduced me to Beyond Wynn. And I mean, I am excited. Beyond, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're really, really grateful. Let's start with the name, Beyond Wynn. Is that your real name?
I changed my name over 10 years ago.
And why did you do that?
Because I felt that when my mom had me, she basically named me Brian, and that was an idea she came up with for wherever she was at that time, and so she named me Brian. But as I traveled on my journey, I wanted a name that signified something. And so when you think of beyond, out of sight of, out of reach of, and I just felt like my life fit perfect with beyond. So I married the name Beyond.
Wow. Now, well, let's just dive right in. Tell us your story, man. I mean, it's a crazy story, but I want to hear about it. Tell us where you came from, how you got started, how you got to where you are today.
Born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. Been in Cleveland my whole life. Actually raised on the east side of Cleveland, 79th and Superior. I grew up single parent home. My mom raised me and my three sisters by herself. So I watched my mom struggle. I think that's where I got most of my desire from to make things better than what I seen growing up. What I seen growing up, looking out the window was hopeless. What I experienced at home was basically my mom dealing with her frustrations in life and not knowing how to channel her frustrations. So a lot of those things were took out on me. And so, at that time, I just felt, I was in a sad place, a sad place. And I just felt like it had to be something better because I seen it on TV. It looked better on TV. I seen people laughing on TV. I seen people happy and loving and just living life on TV. So I knew it was something better. And so my childhood, wow. I guess I'll start elementary school. Elementary school was kind of exciting at first. And the reason why I said at first, because in the second grade, I was in major works class, and that was kind of fun, being one of the smartest kids in the school. That was like the smartest class in the school. So that felt really good. But I eventually got kicked out of the class because I didn't get the support at home that I needed. Or nobody, my mom didn't, I don't think she had time to really, pay attention to what was really going on with me because of her own struggles and different things she was dealing with. So it made me give up, so I quit. I didn't put in any effort inside of class. And so, I got kicked out of class. After that, the same thing happened with football. Played football. No one noticed that I played football. So I gave that up. I quit. And I looked to the streets for love. I didn't see love at home or feel love at home. So I instantly went to the streets and started doing a lot of the wrong things in the streets, thinking that it was love, but it was an illusion. And I guess it was part of my process in order for me to be where I am now. And just, waking up and using my story and the trials and tribulations and the pain and turning those things into power. So fast forward a little bit, after detention home, state prison, I knew it was something special about me, something special about my life because I was still alive after all the things that I had been through, near-death experiences, just everything. At a point in my life, I didn't care about living, but I was still here. And so that used to always cross my mind, wow, I have a lot of friends that are dead. I have a lot of friends that are doing life sentences. why am I still here? And, you know, through the support of others seeing things in me that I didn't see in myself at the time, I started to believe them. I started to believe that I had something special. I started to believe that I had a gift, and all I had to do was unwrap it and trust, you know, what God put inside of me. But at the time, I couldn't hear it because there was too much noise going on. So once the noise got quiet down a little bit, I can kind of hear a little bit. And so real estate, I used to work with my grandfather and my uncles when I was little. My grandfather used to build houses here in Cleveland. And so I worked with them doing construction work and painting and different things like that when I was younger. So that's when I first got exposed to real estate. But I knew from working with them, I didn't want to be hands-on working. I didn't want paint all over my hands. I didn't want to be dirty all the time. So I liked the idea of buying the ugly houses and making them beautiful homes. So I got into real estate investing. You know, I had a mentor at the age of 19, and I started buying and selling homes. That's how I got involved in real estate.
And so now you're very, very successful at it at this point as well, Beyond, right? Yes?
Can't hear you.
You can't hear me no more?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, hear me. Sorry. No, I was saying, and you've grown quite a very successful real estate business.
Yes, I have. I like real estate a lot. I used to think that I thought that I loved real estate, but I think it was just the money that's generated from real estate. What I really love is inspiring and uplifting people, helping people recognize that they have greatness inside of them. They just need to activate it. So I think that's what I'm most excited about. So I started teaching people how to do real estate, how to invest in real estate, you know, how to buy a home, how to put the numbers together, evaluate it, how to vet the team that you need to succeed in real estate, how to market, you know, their website so they can reach out of state and out of country clients. And what I found was, what I love is helping people turn their lives around. So it's not necessarily real estate. Real estate is just a vehicle that, you know, I use to make money. But I love people, helping people elevate. And so that's what I get out of the real estate coaching. And then that turned into people asking me to come speak at events, you know, talking about self-development and different things like that. But that's what I'm most excited about, speaking and helping people take their lives to another level.
Now, and this is interesting, Beyond, because is it not true that speaking in front of groups, even small groups, was not your forte, let's say? In fact, it was something that was very difficult. So how did you make that transition?
You know, it's funny, when I remember first speaking when I got involved in sending out cards with Jordan, and he came here to Cleveland, and he told me I was going to have to speak. And I was thinking in my mind, like, hold up, I'm interested in the business, but I don't want to speak. I don't want to get up. You could just get up there and talk to him. And so he's like, listen, he said, I used to have a friend that used to have the same problem, and his mom would tell him, listen, when you're going to be up there for about 5 or 10 minutes and you're not going to die. He said, the only thing, just remember that, you're not going to die. And so I got up, and it felt like my heart was going to come out of my shirt, but I did it. So after a couple of those events and getting comfortable and the response from the people, that's what drove me. Like, oh, wow, I may be kind of all right, because I'm getting like a warm welcome from people. And when I'm done, people always walking up to me, shaking my hand, said that they loved me telling my story. And I was like, And then it went to where I would get people asking me to come speak at places to tell my story. And it's like, we need people like you to tell your story that's not afraid to tell the truth, not afraid to talk about, you know, being abused, feeling hopeless, and all these different things, and then turning all those things into being successful. And so that's what my drive is. So now it's beyond me being fearful. I don't even think about that. I think about the people need me to be in front, to tell the truth, to share my story, to be confirmation that you can do, be, and have anything. That's what drives me.
Yeah, and that's what I love when I was speaking with you Beyond about, that you are sharing your story. And one of my sayings is, I will believe in you till you believe in yourself. And when you start saying you had belief, I actually just spent the past couple hours watching I think it was Beyond Compton or something, series of
Mhm.
Compton. And one of the gentlemen said something, I just loved it. I actually was quickly trying to buy the domain name. I loved it so much, but he said
Wow.
pressure creates diamonds. And I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know this, but the story of Serena and with the sisters, Serena and
Venus
Venus
and
Williams,
Venus.
that
Yes.
their dad actually on purpose moved them into Compton on purpose in the middle of when it was the biggest killings going on, because he wanted them to grow up in a tough neighborhood, and they practiced in that tennis court around gun shooting and everything. And this guy used to fight with the gang man. That's how he lost his teeth. And to the point that one day the gang people finally just said, you know what? They saw something in him and they backed off and they protected him. But I mean, I never knew that. I don't know if you knew that of
I
Will.
didn't.
No,
Yeah,
he
I
actually
didn't know that.
on purpose into Compton when it was the worst, and made on purpose so they could build the character. And it was crazy to me when I saw that story of these two girls
Wow.
playing tennis, and gang members would come and watch, and it was like they're, you know what I mean? So
Mm.
I just think it's important, like you say, that we share our stories. One of the things that the reason I'm doing this is because so many of us hear the victories. They hear wins. They hear Beyond success. They hear Rails made it as an actor. They hear Jordan's success, that he is. But they never hear the trials and tribulations. And I think it's almost more important for people to hear the trials and tribulations so that they can believe. Because if they just hear the victories, they think, man, he's lucky, or that's not, I'll
Right.
never do that. So that's why I love that you're open to share. I mean, that you were abused and come from a tough neighborhood and all that
Mm.
kind of stuff, because you made a choice and look where you are. What would you say, if you were to give three, what would you say your three keys to success would be?
3 keys to success. I think the first is, it's funny you say three, but I call it infinite intelligence. You may call it your first mind, but I call it my infinite intelligence, or that voice inside of you. My life has went to a whole nother level, being in touch with that. Here's an example. When I reflect on my life, every time my infinite intelligence told me to go right and I went left, I was wrong. When I reflect on my life, and every time my infinite intelligence showed me the signs in people and business relationships, and I went left, I was wrong, and I had to pay the price. So now today, I follow and trust my infinite intelligence. I let it lead me. It's like, it wants to lead us through life effortlessly as possible, but we hard-headed. And here's another great example. You think of Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles, blind, right? And you think about the levels of success that they've reached. And then you think about people that's not blind, never been sick, never been incarcerated, and they've been running in place for the last 20, 30, 40 years. What I came up with was this. Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles, they have no other choice but to trust and believe in an infinite intelligence that guide and lead them through life. Us being able to see, sometimes it's a distraction for us and a disadvantage, because we could see we got too many options, too many distractions, too many things going on. But if you trust the infinite intelligence, the first voice, your spirit, and let it lead you, life would be simple. That's mine. That's
Wow.
my key to success.
And I love that. I call that the voice, but I'm going with that infinite. What was it again?
Infinite intelligence.
Wow, that is good. That's good, Beyond. I mean, that's powerful. And I love the analogy with the Stevie Wonder. You're right. We got too many distractions. But man, that's good. Now, what would you say, coming out of where you came, what would you say the biggest mistake people make?
The biggest mistake, I think the biggest mistake is letting what's in front of you define your path or the things that you can do. like, you know, letting where you are right now, no matter where you're at, letting that dictate who you are, and, you know, and just feeling hopeless instead of really, you know, believing and trusting that God created you for a reason. It's no mistakes.
Wow. You know what's crazy? And, you know, maybe this is why Jordan said we needed to connect. But it's like when I just really enjoying this time with you, Beyond, because it's like kind of listening to me talk. And you're giving me confirmations and things that I say and I believe, which is cool. And that's what I love about these interviews, and that I love, and I hope people are going to get from them. They got all these different people. And one of the things that I'm seeing as I'm doing these interviews, there's common denominators. And I've always seen that, and you're saying it and believing it, and I want people to get that, because I like you. It's like I try to tell people, you weren't just put on this earth to take up space. I mean, don't make mistakes, dude. You gotta, you know, man. I just that's what makes me passionate about. I just want people to believe in themselves and know that they have more and that they have a calling. You know, even when I was delivering pizzas, back in the day, I was going to be the best pizza delivery boy. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I was washing windows, I was the best window washer. You know, and I'm sure you were the same way, right?
Period. I used to carry bags at the grocery store and pump gas.
I did the bagging thing too. And did you do this? I was like, I'm going to be the best, fastest bagger. I would do more bags than everybody. I just was always like that.
I just knew I was going to show up at the grocery store and I was going to make some money. That's it. I was going to show up and I was going to make some money. Today, what I tell people is everything that we need for this journey, we have inside of us. Everything outside is either a lesson or a confirmation.
Wow. Now let's talk. You got to share your Les Brown story. Tell us about your meeting with Les Brown, because that was, man, if that wasn't confirmation, that's crazy. Share that story with us.
So 7 years ago, that was the first time I met Les. 7 years ago in Salt Lake City, I was at a convention, a company convention, and Les Brown was there. And so Les Brown was taking pictures. So I was kind of standing on the side, and Les Brown walked over to me, and he said, "What's your name, young man?" And I was like, "Beyond Wynn." And he looked me in my eye. He grabbed my hand. He looked me in my eye. He said, "You're supposed to be doing what I'm doing." And I'm like, and so I'm thinking to myself, like, how did he know? Because every time I seen people speak or listen to Les Brown or listen to Jim Rohn, I'm thinking to myself, I can do that. But I kept making up excuses of why I wasn't ready, and, you know, I needed, you know, to become better and all these different things. But when Les said that to me, it stuck in my head. And I actually seen Les about a month ago at another event. Wow. And I walked up to him and we had this short conversation. And yeah, it's something, it's amazing, but that was just confirmation for what I was supposed to be doing and, you know, my purpose-driven life.
Wow. Now, so Beyond, people watching this, there's people going to be watching this and they're going to be inspired by you, but they're still going to have that doubt. What would you say to the person who's still not believing? What advice would you give? They're having a dream right now. They want to do something that they're not doing, but they're not believing that they can do it. What would your advice be to them?
My advice is it's still centered around an infinite intelligence. And that's not something special just for me. We all have this inside of us. God created us with everything we needed for this journey. That's what we have to believe. And I think a lot of time people get caught up into whether it's perfect attendance at church versus really listening, going home, studying scriptures for yourself, and then applying them in your life. We need to do more of that, not just listen to what somebody else is saying, not just read 1,000 books just to get to the next book, not continue to go to seminars and get motivated, and then that's it. No, you got to get a couple of great habits and put them on repeat. You got to use your life like a science project, and you got to try different things. You can't say it don't work until you tried everything, until you exhausted everything. When you look in the mirror at night and know, like, you know what? I put in the work. I tried this. Yeah, they turned me down at one job, but I filled out 10 applications a day. Then you could start saying, like, you know what? Maybe this don't work. But until you go all out and you know it because it's inside of you. You know if you're lying and cheating yourself. It's inside of you, inside of all of us. We know something right now, at least one thing we can do that we're not doing, so we stay busy so we don't have to deal with it. So it's inside of all of us. Cut the noise down, cut the TV off, get off social media, cut your phone off, sit still and listen to the voice that's trying to communicate, but it can't talk to you with all the noise. And believe and move. Because when Moses looked at the Red Sea, the sea didn't part when he looked at it. It didn't part when he went back to school to get another degree. It didn't depart when he planned and looked at it. God didn't tell him to go get Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike before he walked in it. The sea parted when he demonstrated his faith and belief. When he stepped in it, it departed. That's what we have to do with our life. We have to demonstrate.
Yeah, man. You know what, Beyond? Les was right. You're supposed to be doing what he's doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're a champion, brother. You're a warrior, man. I love you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
This has been such a blessing. How can people, do you have a webpage? Do you have a Twitter, Facebook? How do they find you if they want to, follow you and keep in touch with you? How can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Beyond Wynn. That's BEYOND WYNN. And it's the same for Facebook, Beyond Wynn. And you also can visit my website, and that's Beyond Wynn, BEYOND WYNN. And on the website, you can kind of get to know a little bit more about me on my website. I also have T-shirts on my website. I have a T-shirt that I created, spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially fit, in that order. When I started this journey as a young man, I lived my life the opposite direction. I was only thinking about money. But once I got in tune and started listening and trusting the purpose for my life and listening to what God was telling me, I understand that, okay, if you get in tune spiritually and mentally, everything else falls in place. And so life is, it's easy this way. You don't have to chase. You attract. You become and you attract. That's
awesome. I'm gonna definitely get me one of those shirts, because you know what, you'll connect with this. We all got our I got my dream board right here on my wall and all that. We all know that. We all done. But a good buddy. Well, there you go. See, now check this out. Wow. See, I love it. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Here, look at it. I'll show you mine right here. Look.
Okay.
That's mine up all over there. But now check this out. Now check this out, Wynn. You might dig this. So a good buddy of mine, Dave MacArthur, this guy is he's definitely a modern day champion. I'll be interviewing him. Now, I got this dream board. I got the pictures up there. I've been doing it for years, and I've been talking it and sharing it with my champions and stuff like that. But I didn't really connect with it till one day I watched this presentation that Dave MacArthur did, and it's you can find him on Facebook. Mechanic to Millionaire is awesome. But he does this thing, and what he did, he said he talked about this thing, the universe, the compensation of the universe. Law of compensation for the universe, I think, and that you can't just want and desire things without paying the universe, and the universe wants to be paid more than what the things and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden I was watching this and I was trying to put my bit, and he says put it on a card rather than there so you can carry it with you, and I wish I had it with me. I don't want to take the time to run upstairs and show it. You know what? I'm going to show it to you. Hold on. I'm going to take you with me. Hold on. But that's a cool thing about this. Let me show you this, because this is powerful. I think you'll dig this. So this is my thing, but I want to go get this, and then. But anyway, so while I'm running upstairs here, so what you're going to see when you see this, what I found from this was, it was all. Oh wait, it's downstairs. It's not even up here. I had it downstairs. I didn't even have to go all the way up here. But what happened for me, what clicked for me finally, what really got me re-fired up and motivated was, if you see this, here it is right here. I have it right here. See, check this out. See, this is the beginning of my vision card. This is page 1 right here. That's my tombstone.
Hmm.
There's God. And that's my big smiley face. And these are like millions of people coming to my funeral. That's me winning a Nobel Prize. That's the Martin Luther saying, keep the dream alive. And then there's me with my queen up there up in heaven looking down. So it's almost reverse. It is reverse.
Hmm.
My nice house and my place in Alabama and my bass boat and all of that's at the back, because this is what I want to achieve. I want to make a difference. There's millions of people coming to my funeral, not because I'm cool. It's because I made a difference, because I changed lives. And in the process, if I change lives, and this is me doing good and bringing people home to God, that's what I want and stuff like that, that beautiful house and all that other stuff will come. When I had the house and the stuff at the front, it wasn't firing me up. I wasn't, it wasn't like, don't get me wrong, I want that bass boat. I want that house in Alabama. I want all that, but it wasn't motivating me. But now what he tells you, and then what he teaches you now, so if this is where I want to end up, how am I going to get there? So the next page is, well, you know what? I'm going to have to change the world. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to have to have personal growth. I'm going to have to build an army. And you go backwards to what it's going to take, and then you end up with you. And that, man, when I did that, dude, it's all over then. Does that make sense to you?
Do it make sense? It's like we on the same station. Yeah, of course it makes sense. Definitely. Wow.
Yeah. See, now I can see now it's like, because now I'm getting fired up. I wasn't, and it's like weird, but I think you get, it's like, I want that bass boat more than anything. I love bass fishing, but it wasn't making me fired up to get up and go to work every day. But when I get fired, I want to help people. On my tombstone, it says, I will believe in you till you believe in yourself. That fires me up. It fires me up. Like last night I was talking to this beautiful girl, and she, and man, she opened up to me, and it's just so sad how much she doesn't believe in herself because her dad left her, and she's this boyfriend who said, you need to lose weight or I'm going to leave you. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, you know what I mean? And that's what fires me up, when people they don't have that belief in themselves.
Wow. I want to share something, because what you just said about being fired up and how this changed and got you fired up or re-energized you. I want to share something that I got from my personal development coach on Monday, and he's a good friend of Les Brown, and he shared something with me. Let me find it. Next line. Oh, here it is. And so this is how he was in a meeting with Les, and he said Les said he trying to figure out how to leave a legacy or something to that effect. And he said he told Les, this is what you need to do. This is how everybody will remember you. Inscribe your name on the heart of your fellow man, and you'll live forever.
Woo! Ouch. Inscribe your name on the heart of your
fellow man, and you will live forever. I was like, I get it. I got it. Thank you.
I just do that. You took me to a whole nother level beyond.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
And that's why I'm doing it, because that's powerful. So that means, like, man, you just need to, I tell people all the time, when God puts somebody in front of you, man, you don't miss that opportunity. It ain't by accident, and sometimes it can be like, I shared the other day on a call. I don't know if you saw this, but my son probably knows who he is, and if he hears me talking about it, but he was a football player at Oregon, big, massive man. And he was one of the champions over there. They're doing a story on him. He has this big smile. He's known for having a big smile. He's always smiling at people. How are you doing? And how are you doing? And they asked him about that. And he said, and it became from when he was in high school, a kid that he knew in high school who wasn't the popular kid, who was picked on all the time and who was bullied, but he was one of his friends, committed suicide. And when he committed suicide, something like 6, 7 in the evening, And when they found him and they found the note said that if one person takes time to say hi to me and ask me how my day is going, I won't take my life. And this kid went the whole day. Can you imagine? And I tell people, it doesn't have to be huge. Just if you, because you know when that tell me again that name you call it, the voice. I call it the inner voice. You call it the
infinite intelligence.
The infinite intelligence. You're at the gas station and it says, Rail, say hi to that person. And you go, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Now I just listen to that infinite intelligence. Hello. Because maybe that's all it takes. Just to say hello. You know
I agree. I ride around with the envelope, and on the envelope, it says RAKE, R-A-K-E, and it stands for Random Act of Kindness Everywhere. Wow. And so a percentage of every check I get, I give it away. And so I ride around with this envelope, and I follow my infinite intelligence, and I just give the money away. So a little kid can pump my gas, I give him $60 if it's 60 in the envelope. You know, I see a homeless person asking for money. You know, it's $100, whatever it is, I just give it away. That's what we're supposed to do.
Wow. So let me recap, because that's beautiful. So you take a little bit from your check on top of your tithing and everything else you do. That's amazing.
Yep.
You just, every check you get, you take a little bit, you put in an envelope, and you just, at some time, you're just going to give it to someone.
Yep.
Wow.
I look for an opportunity to give it away.
Wow.
Random act of kindness everywhere. And so just imagine if we all just gave a little bit more. It could be a smile. It could be $1. It could be some information, sharing our resources. If we all just did a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow, man.
So I'm just doing my part. That's it.
You are, man. Well, listen, man, I like to, I want to respect your time. I could talk to you forever, and I never listen. If I can ever do anything for you, you know, we're connected. This has been a blessing, dude. This is blessing.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
You're going to change a lot of lives, brother. I love you, man. You're a champion.
Love you. Love you too. Let's stay in touch. Let's be intentional about that.
All right. So, hey, listen, I like to end my show. It's my thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. You know, create energy. So if you would, we'll count it out together. Okay.
Let's go.
5, 4,
4, 3, 2, 1. Boom.